All right, the IRS has updated and gave us very clear clarity on the EV credit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, President Biden signed into law the Inflation Reduction Act. And inside that act, they have some subsidies for electronic vehicles. I'm going to give you the 6 things you need to know about if you're trying to buy an EV vehicle. Come on, let's go. All right, number 1. So the credit is $7,500 if you buy a new EV or $4,000 if you buy a used EV. And the definition of used means it has to be a 2-year-old model. So we're talking about a 2020 or a 2019 model. So don't get real jumpy out here. Number two thing you need to know is that if it is a sedan, the amount that you have to pay for it has to be under $55,000 if it's new. If it's a SUV, it has to be under $80,000 as the suggested retail price. So if you try to go out there and get an EV vehicle and it's over that, like an SUV, it's $100,000, you ain't getting that credit, player. Slide back. Number 3, there's income limitations if you buy a new EV vehicle. So if you're single, it's $150,000. If you are married, $300,000. And if you're head of household, $225,000. If you make more than that, they'll start to basically take away from your credit. Number 4, I don't know how to count. Number 4 is that if it's a used EV vehicle, less than 2 years model, that income limitation drops down a little bit more. So it's $75,000 if you're single or married filing separately. Your income has to be below $150,000 if you're married, and $112,500 if you're head of household. So if you buy a used EV vehicle and trying to qualify for that $4,000 credit, it has to be under those income limitations or they start to phase you out. Damn, brah. Number 5, it has to be assembled in the USA. I pledge allegiance to the flag. It has to be assembled on U.S. soil. Now, if you purchased your EV vehicle prior to this being signed into law, that rule doesn't apply to you. They wrote that into the tax law, but right now it has to be assembled. And you're like, how the hell do I know if it's assembled on U.S. soil? So you can go to this website, which is afdcenergy.gov. So that's Apple, Frank, Dog, Charlie.energy.gov, and look for the Inflation Reduction Act. And they give you the vehicles that were manufactured or assembled in North America. Or you could be a creep and take your vehicle VIN number and go to this website, which is vpic.nhtsa.gov, the hardest URL in the world, and put in the VIN number and the model, and it will let you know where it was manufactured. Can the government make this any harder? I think they can. And last but not least, number 6 on my list is that if you entered into agreement between January of 2022 and August of 2022 before this act was signed, you do not have to worry about the assembly requirements. You can just qualify for the credit even though it wasn't assembled here in the good USA. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Hey, that's it. I don't got no more. Hey, please follow if you want to know more tax tips. Peace.